Stop making movies about characters we don't care about. Ironheart is a literal heaping pile of dog shit. It's literally the worst MCU project that I have ever seen, next to She-Hulk and Echo. I don't know what Marvel's deal is, but anytime they have a female lead, they always make the writing so dog shit. Like, I just don't get it, bro.
Do you think Tony Stark would be Tony Stark if he wasn't a billionaire?
We're just shamelessly rage baiting with the female characters now? Yeah, wrap it up. That's why I can't go watch any of this stuff where they make the main character a woman and insufferable.
Ironheart might actually be the queerest Marvel property since Agatha all along, and it's hella black. And my motto is make it black or make it gayer. Welcome to my safe haven. So this is something I was just thinking about that randomly popped into my head, and I'm like, I gotta make a video about it. But yeah, Ironheart is kinda hella gay.
They easily made her one of the most unlikable characters in the MCU, not even 5 minutes into the show. Listen to what she said. He didn't build the first Iron Man suit at Stark Labs. Like, he was in a cave with his life on the line. And yes, they gave him resources, but that was for him to build something else totally different. He wasn't supposed to even be building it, which makes it even more impressive.
Remember when Marvel used to dominate pop culture? Yeah, those days are over. Now we've got Ironheart, a show nobody asked for, featuring a character nobody cares about, shoved down everyone's throat like it's supposed to be the next Iron Man. Spoiler alert, it's not. This isn't storytelling. It's corporate activism with a shiny CGI coat. And what's worse, Disney thought this was going to be their next big hit. Buckle up. We're diving headfirst into the train wreck that is Ironheart. And trust me, it's even uglier than you think. This series has it all. A recycled character with no arc dialogue ripped straight from a LinkedIn diversity workshop. CGI explosions to distract from the fact nothing's actually happening. And the best part? The fans are the problem. At least according to Disney. If you don't like it, you're either sexist, racist, or just don't get it.
The intersectionality of being a woman and black at the same time will forever be more dangerous than just racism itself. The reaction that a lot of fanboys, more specifically the toxic fanboys, have towards the show is proof that their misogyny will always be stronger than racism itself.
Classic. So how did Marvel go from Infinity War to Iron Flop? Let's break it down. Let's start with the obvious. Riri Williams. Introduced in the comics back in 2016, her solo run was canceled almost immediately. Not because of trolls, not because of Backlash, but because nobody was reading it. The sales were trash. The character didn't resonate. Period. And yet, somehow, Disney decided that's who should lead the future of the MCU? You've got over 7,000 characters in Marvel's roster, and you pick the one with zero emotional pull? Bold move. Too bad it backfired. In Ironheart, Riri isn't a genius. She's a brat. She's reckless, selfish, and completely unlikable. Instead of showing her brilliance through action, the writers just tell us she's smart over and over again, like we're supposed to believe it by repetition. MIT dropout? Check. Joining a gang for cash? Check. Zero consequences? Check. If Tony Stark saw this, he'd deactivate his own AI just to avoid watching. Let's talk about the story, or whatever they're calling this mess. Riri gets kicked out of MIT, builds a suit in her garage, and gets pulled into some underground tech war led by a hoodie-wearing villain with magic powers. No, I'm not making this up. And that villain? He bends bullets like it's wanted, but still needs backup for every fight. Real menacing. Add in some weird AI drama that could have been powerful, but is handled with all the emotional weight of a wet napkin. The pacing? Sloppy. The scenes? Disjointed. The stakes? Non-existent. This ain't a Marvel story. It's a failed fanfic that somehow made it to Disney+. Here's the real issue. It's not that the cast is diverse. It's that Disney is clearly more invested in selling diversity than telling stories that actually matter. You know it's bad when even LGBTQ fans are calling the show lazy and condescending. The problem isn't representation. The problem is forced representation. Shoved in with no soul, no nuance, and no purpose beyond headlines. It's diversity as marketing strategy. Rainbow flags slapped over bad writing like a Band-Aid on a bullet wound. And then Disney gaslights fans. Oh, you just don't understand. No, we understand perfectly. We just want good stories. Let's be real. Dominique Thorne is out here beefing with fans online instead of leveling up her acting. The dialogue feels like it was written by ChatGPT with a quota checklist. Characters don't talk, they preach. Every scene is either a monologue about oppression or a one-liner that thinks it's clever but lands like a dead fish. Even the funny scenes fall flat. Remember the team intro? Rampage, slug, HR guy with knife trauma. That was the punchline. That's the level of writing we're working with here. Ironheart makes Velma look like Breaking Bad. Let's zoom out. This isn't just about one bad show. This is a symptom of Marvel's deeper identity crisis. Phase 5 is falling apart. Secret Invasion was a disaster. The Acolyte is a gender studies thesis disguised as Star Wars. And now Ironheart joins the trash pile. What happened to Marvel Studios? The place that gave us Iron Man, Winter Soldier, Infinity War? Now it's all committee-written scripts, fake hype, and actors who think clapping back on Twitter is how you build a fan base. Meanwhile, Bob Iger's out here claiming Ironheart is a wide success. Sure, Bob. That's why you're hiding the viewership numbers. If this show was crushing it, you'd be blasting those stats everywhere. Instead, we get press releases and buzzwords. Engagement is high. Translation: nobody's watching, but influencers are pretending to care. And Bob's cherry on top? Sometimes diversity is more important than story. Let that sink in. He said the quiet part out loud. Marvel doesn't care if the story sucks, as long as the checklist is full. Oh, and guess what? They're bringing in Mephisto, the literal devil, played by Sacha Baron Cohen in Ironheart. The same Mephisto fans begged to see in WandaVision, Doctor Strange, Moon Knight, or Blade. But no, Disney dumps him in Ironheart, where his creepy vibe makes zero sense. You waited 3 years for Mephisto and he's here, making TikTok jokes and giving TED Talks in hell. It's so tone-deaf, it's laughable. Another legendary character wasted for a quick PR boost. Let's talk facts. Marvel fatigue is real. Fans are burnt out. Not because there's too much content, but because there's too much bad content. Nobody's quoting Riri. Nobody's excited for her spin-off. Nobody's buying the hype. Disney's next move? A Young Avengers team-up, featuring Riri, Ms. Marvel, and other failed characters from flopped shows. That's not a team. That's a group project full of people who didn't do their homework. And apparently, Disney is sinking massive money into this. Like, pray this works levels of budget. Spoiler, it won't. So, where does Marvel go from here? Maybe Fantastic Four brings the heat. Maybe Doom shows up and makes everything worth it again. Maybe. But until then, we're stuck watching the slow, sad death of the MCU, one checkbox at a time. Ironheart won't be remembered as the future of Marvel. It'll be remembered as the turning point, when even diehard fans said, yeah, we're done. Marvel used to show us greatness. Now it demands applause for mediocrity. And the audience? We've seen enough. If this breakdown hit the nail on the head, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and share this video with someone who remembers when Marvel actually gave a damn. Check out the next video on screen for more brutal breakdowns and wild celebrity drama you won't believe. This is The Scoop Spot, and I'll catch you in the next one. Stay sharp.